Welcome back to the channel, guys, as I continue my final episode of the series of the Barnsley Coal Railway in part 4. Following on from where I left off in part 3 with Jess, we're going to be finishing the series up at Rhyill Junction. In today's Explore, part 4 between the viaduct at Royston Junction going towards Rhyhill and Wintersett station. Now, I did mention that I was going to finish the series at the Wintersett Junction up at Rhyill. However, the video had to be done in 2 parts, so it will be split into a part 5. So our line would have continued right here, where the viaduct was demolished, where I showed you the remains in the final part of part 3, and it looked like it would have headed across a small embankment going up here. Now, it does not look like any railway would have been here, but the next section of the line looks like it's on private property. So I'm just going to see if I can scope out what's there. Now, I'm not going to go on it, but I'll just show you where the line was. Potentially some remains here of the viaduct. So here is where our Barnsley Coal Railway line carried on its venture towards Rhyhill. You can clearly see there is literally nothing left of the railway, all reclaimed and now a farmer's land. But I'm not going to go on there, so what I'm going to do is re-pick up the track bed going further that way. I've just headed slightly off where the track bed would have been, but you can see here there's part of a sleeper that's embedded into the floor here. You can tell it's a sleeper by the way it's designed. It's got a hole in it there, you can see it there. It looks like here we've got a little bit of coal. Is it coal? I think it is. So I'm currently on Church Lane, so I've just had to follow a footpath all the way around the line because the farmer's land is behind me. The railway line would have continued across this field, so what we're going to have to do is walk down this footpath here back onto our track bed towards Rhyhill. It looks like we've come to a point, so I've just checked on the maps. This is where our line and our track bed continued. So there'd been a slight little diversion northeast. So the line would have continued this way through, right through somewhere where those trees are, and then would have continued all the way to Rhyhill. Before we do head along, there is a small little culvert. There's a small channel, a stream runs underneath. And it looks like the line would have continued over the top of that, underneath here. So let's head on now and see what we've come across. Now, I will point out, now I didn't get any footage of it, but as I had to make my way around the farmer's field where the Barnsley Coal Railway would have carried on, I did actually end up walking on a line, and it was called the Rhyhill Main Colliery Tramway. And like I said, I did actually have suspicion that it was a railway line as I'd looked at the maps, but it turns out that I'm going to kind of cross wires with it further up the line. So I do believe that I'm somewhere around now where I crossed underneath the Rhyhill Main Colliery Tramway. Now, there's some stone here, and I think it's the remains of a bridge that looks like it continued across the field. So it was a lot of a higher level, and it looks like those trees that are over there are part of an embankment that carried the Rhyhill Main Colliery Tramway. So if I just take a little look up here, I think we're on an embankment on the tramway line. Now, as I was walking through the woods to get to Church Lane, I believe I was walking on the track bed. So I do think that here somewhere we had the bridge to the tramway. So I'm on a steep embankment, and it looks like our next road we're going to come to will be Station Road. You can see the farmer's field at the side there. Those line of trees is where I started walking up thinking it was the Barnsley Coal Railway, but it turned out it was the tramway, and it's easily done and mistaken around this area. It looks like we are actually approaching a bridge. So let's walk down here and see what we come across. So I'm on top of what looks like a farmer's access bridge, clearly not used anymore. Well, there's a lot of stonework down there, and I'm assuming it's just there to prevent any vehicle access now. If we have a look on the other side, you can see more loose flags and loose stones. So, the bridge, I'm going to go down there and have a look. But there are a few boundary markers that we can see. So there's the boundary markers showing that that's a farmer's field. So like I said, we walked across this stone bridge. Now it looks like there wasn't an original bridge, and that wooden one has been put in place as part of the walkway. And I'm guessing now that these loose bricks or loose stone flags were part of the original bridge. You can see the coping stones. There's a few bits of loose masonry. You can clearly tell this is more of a modern wooden bridge. And obviously this is preventing any more access, vehicle access. I'm guessing it's no longer used as a farmer's access. A few more boundary posts down there. And that over there is our Rhyhill main tramway. And here we get another look at the bridge. Now it looks like you can tell that track bed carried on here because it was for two lines, so I'm guessing it was a large bridge that went right across the top of the abutments. But it's still standing here. There are a few more broken boundary markers just here. That looks absolutely battered. You can see all the metal that's coming out. We're going to head back now onto the track bed. Now I wonder what this was actually. I wonder if this was part of another bridge that may have been on the other side, but it's been vandalised, or it's just come down due to the weather. Because it still looks quite modern itself. Anyway, let's head back onto the pathway and continue towards Rhyhill station. Now it does state on the maps that around here there was a signal pole, and this here does look like it was potentially the foundation of the pole, but there is two, but that one looks more chewed away. But I think this was our signal pole. Few more boundary markers to our left. Track bed's very overgrown. Our train would have continued this way and coming back this way. You always feel that when you're following a footpath on an abandoned railway line that you're actually following the train line, but it's not always the case. The trains, we are going to continue round here, and the trains would have been continuing that way. Now I'm guessing that underneath all that vegetation to the left of me there is going to be ballast, I'm guessing. So here you've got the farmer's field. Track bed carried on this way and into our next section. You've got the remains of something there. There's a lot of nettles. Now to the left of me you had a road called Rhyhill Pits Lane that headed up to what you call the Rhyhill Pits sewage filter tank, and it was run by Hemsworth RD Council. Now I'm not sure if that's the same council that's running the area today, so please leave a comment in the box. But that's what it says according to the maps. Our track bed now continues through this cutting I think we're going to approach a bridge at Station Road. It's not a very steep cutting, but you can see the blast in the rocks. You'd be able to see it better if the vegetation wasn't there, which is why it's always a wiser choice to just explore these when it's winter. So I will take that on board. You can see how it gets deeper on that side of the cutting. It's probably only about 30 feet, maybe not even that. Come across this bridge, which still appears to be intact. Now it looks like the bases were made of stone, and underneath looks like it was red brick, but you can see, now you might not be able to see much red because majority of it is covered in old soot, and you can see how the metal bases have rusted due to the decay over the years. But the bridge seems to be in good intact, sorry, and I'm guessing it would be if they're going to leave it up for pedestrians to walk down. If we have a look at the top, you can see a few of the stones, the coping stones at the top have come down. Now there is a little footpath that goes up the side of the bridge. I'll see if I can get up it, and if I can, I'll show you what's on top. So we're just in the cutting here. And this is on top of the bridge. There's a view of the cutting going back down towards Barnsley. And this is going up north towards Rhyhill. It is very overgrown. There is a little boundary post here. And if we take a little venture further along, more of the bridge seems to have disappeared from here. So I'm guessing it was at a lot of high level. Now I don't want to stay on top of this too long, because even though I do think it's safe. So I'm going to head back down into the cutting and carry on that way. Before I do head north, I'm just going to head a little bit more to the south and just show you the depth of the cutting. I'm going to stay far away, but you can see how high up we are. The other side seems to be a lot higher. I don't know if you can see it. So we're going to head back down onto the pathway and carry on. Back onto the track bed. Carrying on through the cutting. You can see that bridge just back there that I've just shown you, going back towards Barnsley. Now the cutting does seem to get a little shorter as we head along. We are approaching Station Road soon. The cutting does seem to concave in a little bit more as we head to the left here. And it's really quiet on this walk. I've not seen anybody, and I've been walking for about an hour. I've literally seen nobody. There is a fence post down there. The cutting's getting even smaller now as we venture further. Just what we've come across, what I think was another signal pole. You can see the nails that are still in there. That's the base of it. And then slightly further along here, I think these are, they looked, I thought they were, in fact they are, railway sleepers. A couple of railway sleepers there. Well, they look like railway sleepers anyway. Or the newer type, concrete. The maps do say there were actually 2 signal posts here, so there must have been that one there. And there is a little base here, or there is some concrete foundation, and then there's like a metal like pole here. Not sure exactly what that was, but I wonder if this was another signal pole. So I nearly missed them. I didn't expect to see them. So let's continue on. We're near towards Station Road. I keep saying that, but it feels like forever. Found some more relevance to the railway. Another railway sleeper there. And it's literally just pushed underneath this tree. This tree must have grown over it. Move slightly further up the line. You can see a couple more railway sleepers. One's literally embedded into the floor like it was never lifted. In fact, there's one there, and it looks like it probably gives away where the actual line was, because there's one here, there's one slightly moved here, and then if you have another closer look here, you can see another one. And if you go back a little further back, you can see another one here, and they all run parallel. And I think there's another one just further back there. They all run parallel. So my guess is that the line literally was here. The rails would have been slightly to the left and to the right. If we just head back out, see if we can find any more further on that might give away my theory. I can't see any more. I think there might be another one there. Looks like here we've got another signal pole here. Now remember, the track was wide enough for 2, so we're looking at one of the rails being here and one to the left. I've still literally come across nobody on this venture. It's really quiet. We should be approaching Station Road soon. There's a lot of ivy that's overgrown onto the left of me. Now I think we're slightly venturing off the track bed here onto this footpath. The line looks like it continued underneath or through another small cutting. Looks to be, oh, that's a tree. I thought it was another signal pole. Yeah, there is a cutting here. Now I think there was a bridge that looks like it might have gone underneath Station Road. I like to be adventurous, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go back. Before we do, there is a signal post here. There looks like there was 2 of them. There's one there and part of one on the ground. So if I just go back before going to Station Road, if I'm just brave enough to walk through this veg, I might be able to show you if there were remains of any bridge. So this would have been our track bed. Well, I believe it was anyway, because this looks like a cutting. So again, I'm walking through what looks like just woodland. Now, my theory, I think, is correct. So we're at Station Road, and it looks like, see back there, literally just trees, but our train looks like it would have come this way and gone underneath a bridge, which you can clearly see is being infilled. There's literally no trace, maybe some at the top. So I'm going to venture up onto Station Road. Might be a few little bits of railway memorabilia with all these red bricks. There is a bit of ballast on the ground down here. So there must have been a bridge that led underneath Station Road, going towards where the station, Rhyhill station was. So down there is where I've just shown you the infilled bridge. We're looking at the top of the infill. So this bridge, the remainder of it, see, is in good nick. Train would have crossed underneath the bridge, so I'm going to have to find the track bed. I think we have to walk down here to find our way back onto the track bed. So I'm on the other side of that bridge. I think it was just about somewhere here. We are walking now towards the site of Rhyhill station. Now, I have heard that there is a lot left, but it's just going to be a case of how much of it can I actually see. There are meant to be still some remains of the platforms. Now, according to Google Maps, I'm actually on the spot of the station. Now, I think our platforms were on the right here somewhere. Now, all this vegetation does cover up the tracks or any trace of the station. See if I can find out down here. I think there are loads of platform remains buried underneath all this veg. So this is Rhyhill station, and I believe this picture you can see here is what I'm actually looking at now. So to the right you would have had station platform. There was a signal box to the right somewhere here. Now it looks like it was only one platform. Now I believe that they are at the site where I thought they were, just underneath that veg to the right over there. Just around here you would have seen this station building. But I can't really see anything at the moment. But this was our site of Rhyhill station. Now, even though the picture looks like it says it only had one platform, it actually had two. And its original company was obviously the Barnsley Coal Railway. and its post grouping was London North Eastern Railways. Its pre-grouping was the Great Central Railway, and it opened on the 1st of September 1882 as part of the Barnsley Coal extension. It was renamed Rhyhill. I think it was Rhyhill and Wintersett. And eventually it closed on the 22nd of February 1930.
You keep me on my feet. I'll move to the beat, my favorite song. Keep it on repeat, please.